Did wokeness cause the failure of Silicon Valley Bank? Let's talk about it in today's video. Hi, I'm Mike Greiner. I'm a lifelong Democratic activist who's concerned about the direction our country is taking. I'm also a lawyer and an academic, and I'm here to help you stand up to the BS of the MAGA crowd. Well, obviously, this claim that somehow wokeness, that most Republicans can't define, caused the failure of Silicon Valley Bank is absolutely absurd. I explain in another video, which I'll link to at the end, what actually happened to Silicon Valley Bank. Needless to say, wokeness is not one of those things. Wokeness, though, has become something that basically Republicans define as anything they don't like. And they have a lot to be defensive about when it comes to this bank failure. After all, it was the Trump administration that rolled back protections in the Dodd-Frank bill that might have actually stopped banks this size from going under. And what's more is the connections between Silicon Valley Bank and this supposed woke agenda are tenuous at best. The fact that there was one board member who is a person of color out of 16, and despite claims to the contrary, Silicon Valley Bank never gave 1 penny to Black Lives Matter. Not 1 penny. So these claims that wokeness somehow had something to do with the failure of the bank are absolutely absurd. But the point is that this is a great example of how the right has used the cultural anguish that is being felt by Christian conservatives to essentially obscure what their real agenda is. They don't want these people looking at the fact that they basically loosened the regulations on banks that helped lead to these failures. Instead, they're saying, oh, look over here. Wokeness. That's what you should be looking at. Ignore the man behind the curtain over there. I mean, I just saw an article the other day in the Washington Post by Jennifer Rubin, a conservative, by the way, a never-Trumper, but a conservative nonetheless, whose column used to be called Right Turn. And she wrote a column of why white Christian nationalists are in such a panic. And the reason they're in such a panic is when you look at the demographic data, they're becoming a smaller and smaller minority of the American population. And their views are generating less and less support among the young people who are coming to dominate our country. So the long-term prospects of white Christian nationalism aren't that great. That's why let's talk about wokeness instead. So even though this claim that wokeness somehow caused bank failures is utterly absurd, what I found most interesting about it is it was just such a revelation as to how the MAGA Republican right has used these vague cultural resentments as a basis to cover up what they're actually trying to do to America. Because that's exactly what we're seeing here. Well, if you want to see a video where I'm interviewed by Tyler Keefe on the MegaCast here in Michigan, talking about what actually happened at Silicon Valley Bank, check out this video over here. As a bonus, I also discuss the reversal of the right-to-work laws that just passed here in Michigan. I'll see you then. In the meantime, let's hope for continued progress. Thank you.